To begin, you want to take your pencil and draw your object. You can outline it with Sharpie and then erase all your pencil marks, or you can just leave it with pencil marks to begin with. Once you finish your drawing, you're going to want to use a variation of shades of colors to color it in realistically. You can use crayons or you can use watercolor. Either of those would be totally fine. And you want to use a combination of colors, especially if you're using crayons. You can blend, different tones of brown like I did here, brown and gold, or the greens, light green, yellow green, bright green, to give different dimensions to your picture. You can look at a photograph to see what it would look like in real life to help you. Next, you want to divide your paper in half across on either side of your object and do the bottom part as, say, a plate or a countertop, and then the top half would be the wall. So you're going to paint these with watercolor using a big wide brush. Just really quickly add lots of color, make sure it's nice and bright and a different color from your object. So it's pretty easy since this key lime pie is almost white, but you want things that are going to be really bold and different. So I actually did a blue cupcake and I made the background kind of bluish, and I wish that I had made it red because blue and blue doesn't really pop. So here you can see, look how much this red and blue and then the white key lime pie really shows. So choose really bright, fun background colors to make it really, really stand out. Okay. Next, you're going to add the fun colors with your oil pastels. So just be adventurous. I remembered looking at some of Wayne Thiebaud's pictures, and he had like pinks and turquoises and yellows. So I'm just going to add fun things in here and kind of see how it goes. So with that being said, don't add too much of something. Don't color anything in completely. Just kind of re-outline with a little touch of fun colors and see. Because if you don't like how something looks, it's kind of hard to get rid of it. So don't go in and do the whole thing. Test it out a little bit, and then if you like it, then you can add a little bit more. So use complementary colors. Use colors that are not next to each other in the color wheel. So if you look at the color wheel and you look at, say, green, looking straight across from green is red, and those are complementary colors. Purple and green also are really good close complementary colors, orange and blue. So you can find colors that are not similar on the color wheel and do colors like that to really help them stand out and create a lot of dimension. Once you're done adding your fun colors in, you're going to go back over it with a black oil pastel to re-outline everything. And this makes it really pop, and it looks a lot more like Wayne Thiebaud's artworks. He does outline or has really bold outlines on his work. So now I'm adding outlines even further away, not right on the line, but a little bit away from it, and it kind of creates this movement. It almost looks like you took a picture and moved the camera. So I just love how those outlines look. So you're going to add that, and then your picture is totally complete. Now let's just check out the difference between the two versions. The second version looks so fun. So again, let's just repeat the process so you guys know what to do. You're going to just outline your drawing. This time I didn't use Sharpie. I just went ahead and just colored it in. So you don't have to use Sharpie if you don't want to. I used watercolor resist, which means I used crayons underneath my watercolor. So when I painted on it, those sprinkles still showed through. It didn't work quite as well on the bottom, but that's okay. Then I painted in my whole background. I decided to brighten up the background because that green seemed too close to the blue. And then I outlined everything using almost like a crayon. Okay, so now I decided to go back in and make my darks darker with the oil pastel. So I have that dark, bright, bold blue that's just at the bottom part of each of those frosting swirls to make it look more three-dimensional. I did try going back in with a white oil pastel, but it just didn't really show up as much as I wanted to, and I wanted it to look like you could see the shininess of the frosting. So then I went back in with some pink to add dimension, kind of like little shadows where you have the cupcake wrapper. And then I decided to go back in and brighten up the background. It just wasn't standing out to me as much as I wanted. So then I didn't film this part, but I re-outlined it with black oil pastel. And now I'm adding my fun colors a la Wayne Thiebaud, right? So I've got oranges and greens and purples, some red. And I'm just kind of copying one of the ideas that he had in one of his cupcakes and just adding fun, crazy colors. And I'm just experimenting. Now, I didn't love how this yellow came out. I just felt like I wanted it to be so much brighter and bolder, and I could get that if I was using paint. But since I'm using oil pastel, I just decided to keep going, trying different things. I added some red on the frosting, a little bit of blue again, some purple, some orange. And then I decided to try to make that yellow stand out even more, so I added some green in there. So I think it helps. I think it looks a little bit more fun than it did before. So this is my finished cupcake, and this is how you guys are going to do it. So do a simple drawing, do it regular, color it like it normally would be colored, and then go in and add your fun oil pastels on the outlines, and then outline everything in black and give it an extra little outline outside the edges to create a little bit of motion and energy. And that's it. Once you're done, upload to Art Sonia. Good luck!